Hey everyone, I'm Dan and I'm building this Expedition truck. If you're new to this channel, a few years ago I bought this old four-wheel drive truck and I'm gradually turning it into my home. The body is two-story, it's got a bed up there, the whole roof is a pop top, it's got a slide-out room and it's got a foldable deck on the back. So if you're interested, please have a look at my earlier videos. Today I'm working on the slide-out room. I have made earlier videos on the slide-out room and how it works, so if you're interested in that, please go back and watch them. The slide-out room comes out 1.3 meters and I was intending to have a support leg at the end of it to help support the load, but a viewer of my channel, Rock, suggested that I could make some internal braces that go from the internal walls inside the truck to help support the weight of the slide-out room. And that had been suggested to me before, but when Rock said it, it just hit me just right. So I want to say thank you, Rock, and sorry to all those other people. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to lift this in and then get it connected up and get it moving in and out, and then I'm going to clamp some pieces on and do some experimenting and see if we can help support that load and bring the deflection of the mechanism down a little bit. So thank you all very much for watching and let's get into it. That's the slide-out room extended. So currently this frame is what is supporting the slide-out room, but I think it's not going to be adequate once the room is fully loaded. And when I pull on the front of the slide-out room, the whole truck rocks back and forth, but there's a bit of deflection in the frame. And when there's a load on the front of it, the back corner of the slide-out room wants to lift up like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp the back corner to the internal wall, which it's sitting next to, and then we're going to do some experiments and see whether that helps it or not. And if it does help it, then I'll put a mechanism in that when the slide-out room comes out, the back corner is locked into a brace that'll support it when it's extended. I've hammered this piece of wood in underneath the body of the truck to try and isolate the slide-out room and stop the whole body rocking backwards and forwards. So now that the body's supported a bit, I'm going to measure the height of the slide-out room off the concrete. Then I'm going to hang on the front of it and measure it again. We'll see how much it's deflecting. Then I'll go in and we'll clamp up the back corner of it to support that, and we'll do the test again. We'll see if it's helping or not. It's about 1680. That's about 1670. So when I hang on the front of it, it's deflecting about 10 mil. This is the back corner that I'm going to clamp to the internal frame. Okay, that is really, really tight. Now for the second test. All right, so that's going to about 1675. So it's deflecting about 5 mil or 6 mil, which is about 50% less than before. So if we extrapolate that out, if we put the braces on the back, we should gain about 50% more support. I think we'll still need a support leg, but this is going to help a lot. So I'm going to start figuring out how we can put some permanent supports in to make it work. Alrighty, I've made these pieces of angle and I've welded in some support plates inside the internal walls, one on this side and one over there on that side. So these pieces of angle, one on each side, will bolt onto these internal walls, and then there'll be a corresponding piece of angle on the slide-out room that as the slide-out room comes out, it'll seat inside there, and that will support the slide-out room as it goes out. So I'm going to bolt these on now, and then I'll put the slide-out room back in and we'll sort out where the angle is going to go. Then we'll bolt it onto the slide-out room and we'll be able to test it out. Okay, we've got the slide-out room back in and we've got our angles attached to our internal support. So now what I'm going to do is get this piece of angle. This is going to fix onto the slide out room and it'll contact the internal support, and I'll put it in there and I'll mark where it goes. Then we'll bring the slide out room in and I'll drill some holes in it. Then we'll be able to drill holes in this and in a corresponding backing plate. I've also got a piece of white chopping board and I cut a strip off it, and that'll go in between each piece of angle, so it's not a metal on metal contact all the time. Might make it a bit easier for it. So we've got our piece of angle and we've got a backing plate which I've tapped some holes in. The angle will go on there, and then the backing plate behind it, we'll bolt it on just loosely. Then we'll run the slide out room out and get it into position, and I'll bolt it on more firmly, and then we'll be able to see how they work. I've already done the other side. Alright, we've got all the support pieces installed. Now, we'll give it a test and we'll see if it's made a difference. It's a lot more solid. Okay, now we'll remove the chock and we'll try it again. As you can see, with the torsion-free subframe that we have on this build and the slide out room coming out one side, the whole body just rocks back and forth a huge amount. Even though the slide out room mechanism is much better supported now, which is a huge benefit because it means that hopefully this mechanism won't get bent, but we're still going to need a support leg to stop the body rolling backwards and forwards. It's a necessary evil, I think. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, but it's also going to stabilise the whole truck as well. So I'll get a piece of wood and we'll chock it up and we'll see what a difference it makes. So from looking at that, we're definitely going to need a support leg still. Not so much to support the weight of the slide out room, but to support the whole box on the back of the truck and stop it from rocking backwards and forwards, to shore up the whole thing. All right, that's it. Just a short video this week, but it's going to be slide out room videos for the foreseeable future, so strap yourselves in. Next week, I'm going to be looking at how I'm going to waterproof the whole thing once it's extended and keep all the weather out. I've had a lot of questions about that over the years, so if that's something that interests you, come back next week. That's what we're going to look at. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all for commenting on my videos and giving me suggestions to problems that I'm facing. It really is helpful and it means a lot, so thanks again and see you soon.